sides and how I can make a proper decision.
So how old are we talking here?
Like high school.
Okay, so the truth is that I don't think it's my job to present my kids with both sides. I think it's my job to present my kid with my side and then provide good counter arguments to the other side. I'm the parent, they're the kid. And so they'll get to a point where they'll make their own decisions because that's the natural way of life. You start not thinking like your parents, you start asking questions. That's fine. But I can only shape their values for a certain period in their life, and I'm not interested in shaping their values to be to basically treat social values in life as a smorgasbord of options. That's not my job. My job is to inculcate the values that I think are correct about the universe into my child. Now, that involves me answering difficult questions for my kids all the time, which is why I try to be an informed person who actually has good answers that satisfy me. And I try to give, I think, complex and adult answers to even my kids, even very young. Right. So the other day, my 10-year-old, we're talking about the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. So my father and I wrote a musical about the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising that's going up actually in Israel in Hebrew in November. And so she was asking, so why does God allow bad things to happen to good people? Right? The big question. And so I said, well, in my view, God's main goal in life is to provide you with choice to choose him or to not choose him.
Yeah,
and so if he were to intervene in every given scenario in order to make good things happen to good people and bad things happen to bad people, then that would be intervening to such an extent that it would not be possible for people to have truly free choice, because what God wants is for us to love and fear him out of our own desire, not because we're afraid of a giant hand in the sky coming down and smacking us, or a giant hand in the sky coming down and rewarding us. Because the answer I just gave you, I gave to a 10-year-old.
Right.
Okay, so that's the...
So, but is Santa real or no? I don't know.
No, but it's so fair because we must talk to our children like they're adults. Like when I was a child, my mom's friends, my family members, they talked to me like I was an adult, and so I spoke back to them like an adult, and I could form my thoughts and how I felt properly.
I agree, and I think that as a society, we've almost done the worst thing. We've given children the options of adults without any tools to equip them, and then we treat adults like children with no responsibility for their own action.
Right.
So you can't treat children like adults and adults like children. You should treat everybody like an adult, not in terms of responsibility, but in terms of the information that the good answers that are provided. And also, again, I do not feel a moral obligation to tell my kids, all of the things that I think are, make an objective decision about abortion. You're 10, right? Like that's silly. And when parents do this sort of stuff with their kids, I think it's bad parenting. And if you take it to yourself to an extreme, you have people who are saying that their children should choose their gender. Which is a marked absurdity on every possible level. Children are innocent, and they are not good, and they're not smart. Right? That is a good description of a child. A child is an innocent person who is not good and not smart.
They're an empty cup.
Yes, and they need to be made full of wisdom, and they need to be made full of values and decency. That we used to call it civilizing a child, right? Because they're like tiny animals. They're completely self-interested, especially when they're babies. This is the nature of them. They have to be in order to survive, right? All my 1.5-year-old cares about is being fed, having his diaper changed, and asking and wanting mommy or wanting daddy. And that's how all human beings are born. We're born grasping. Right? And then the goal is how do you create a good, solid, value-filled person out of this raw material. And so that's the hard job of parenting. And that means saying no an awful lot. And we're a society that forgot how to say no to people.
Yeah.
My next question is going to seem like it's like a got you moment. And I pray that you don't see it that way. I'm sitting here truly just trying to learn from you. Mm-hmm. If you don't feel comfortable to discuss this.
No.
Okay. I just wanted to know, do you miss your relationship with Candace Owens as like a friend? Like somebody who
the truth is that Candace and I were never, particularly close. I thought we had a pretty cordial relationship. I don't really have a lot of interest in discussing anything beyond that about Candace, frankly. Everything that I've said about Candace has been public record, and people can check my past comments for views on this.
Got it. Can I just ask one more?
You're free to ask whatever you want. I'm not going to get it necessarily.
Got it. Absolutely. And by the way, I'm only asking because I'm just curious. And again, you have you could answer. I'm not going to do what that guy from London did to you in person. I'm not. You can get to it. I've learned. I just see what you've shaped out to be so awesome. And it's such a cool perspective that people could come and learn from you. And also, we want to take down the anchors of the news where they're just pushing one agenda. I just felt from observing both of you guys that have different mindsets, you guys had a beautiful opportunity to share one platform with two different mindsets and show the world, no, we're a real media. She has her own views and I have my own views, but we'll sit here and we'll discuss. We could even debate, or I could just not even acknowledge it, but I'm not going to remove somebody from their position of what they see.
every company has the Overton window within which there's a set of views